Same pattern, number 3 with that change. You can hear that example number 3 is technically correct. Back to number 2. You can hear that that 3 blow now, compared to example number 3, doesn't sound right, but it is very smooth. It plays easily, and I can play it very fast. Example 2. Let me do my best to play example number 3. Again. That was not bad. Definitely a little bit of a hiccup, not as smooth. Again, there lies your challenge. So I want you to keep in mind that the pattern has substance to it. In this case, example 2, B goes by skip to G, skipping over A, goes back to B. Then it goes up one note of the scale for our next beat. C goes down by skip. It should be A. And then it goes to C, then it goes to D by skip to B, to D, E by skip to C, to E. So the pattern is that it is 3 notes. Those 3 notes are found in one beat. The downbeat is one note of the scale. The next downbeat is the next note of the scale. The next downbeat is the next note of the scale. Found in those 3 notes in that one beat is skip one note, come back, one note of the scale. Skip one note and then come back. So there is those 2 patterns. There's the skip, and then there's the idea that you're moving up the scale. You need to make sure that you're actually going through and practicing this so that you can see what the actual pattern is when you start to create your own, because that's the idea. So I'm just giving you some examples. I'd love to hear what you come up with, right? So here now is example 3 with the 3 errors taken out. So musically speaking, that's correct. If you look at the second bracket under 7 draw, 6 blow, 7 draw, then 7 blow, 6 draw, 7 blow, again our breathing pattern is violated. And it all gets down to your practice level. It still sounded good. I would need to practice it to be able to play it full tempo, because I've always played it as example number 2. So anyways, it's just something to be aware of, and it's interesting. My last thing I want to show you before we go off into example 4 is that if you look at example 3, every note of this pattern represents, if I take the first note of each one of these patterns, it represents the scale. We already talked about that. But also the second note of each of these patterns represents the scale, starting on a different degree, in this case the 2 draw, G. And our third note is the same as the first note. So you have simultaneous scales basically going on. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so practice example 2, practice example 3. I've used this in music before. This is a cool pattern. And see which one makes sense to you, which one sounds best to you, and which one do you feel you're able to put into the music best.